What? Be organised and think of things? No,
not me, not you.
No, definitely
You
not.
have been incredibly organised recently.
Well, I wouldn't go quite that far.
Well, I would.
Really
I would.
wouldn't.
I have been impressed by your organisation skills and your, I don't know, drive.
Welcome to another episode. Indeedy. Hello.
Hey.
Right, so obviously you wouldn't have heard this, but we heard it because I was on the wrong settings for everything. So
yeah. Good start.
You were talking about organisation.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you not get the bit that I just said? The thing that I just said, and you said, "Oh, I've been recording." Did you?
I got it. I did get it, but yeah, it's just the intro music was wrong. Anyway, why do you think I'm organised? That makes very bizarre.
You have been very organised. Very organised. You've got shows coming out of your ears. You've got a massive build coming on. You've been talking to lots of people. You've been setting up stuff and loads of artwork and drawings, and there's been lots of James in my feed.
Yeah. Well, see, artwork's really easy for me because I love crayons and paper. So,
well, you do, yes, and you should not be apologetic of that. And that slowly, you don't love paper. We've gone through this. That has slowly evolved into your love of acrylic paint and plastic.
Yeah, no, I have had a few things going on. Not a lot.
And I just wanted to say I'd noticed it, and it's cool.
Oh, excuse everybody while we just have a hug. Anyway, talking of which, as we record this, not this is a plug for me at all because this is about me and Malcolm. But I have started my build, Malcolm.
Yes, indeed.
And the reason for that is today, as we record this, is the anniversary, a year on of me having some rough operation or something or other, and making some daft promise to a surgeon that I probably never see ever again in my life, that I would build something to mark the occasion. But I've started.
I really don't think you can belittle it, mate. It was a massive operation and life-changing for you. And for people around you as well.
Oh yeah,
it was a scary.
Yeah, I think it touched everybody in many different ways.
Yeah,
so
it did.
But yeah, so yeah, I've started with
scary days, mate.
We have done around our my first round table. That was exciting.
Was it fun?
It was. Unfortunately, and Graham will hate me for saying this, but Graham unfortunately didn't join us because he wasn't well, which is not his fault. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But it did throw me into a blind panic for a minute going, but it was all good. It was all fine. I don't know why I panicked at all. But yes, we had the lovely Bill Huffman and Martin Drayton and Rob Herring.
Yes.
All chatting about my madness. And it was really good, actually. It was, I know that there were a few things I jotted down as we were talking.
And
I'm aware of the guests all jotting things down as well as we were going through it all, which I thought was quite funny. But the funniest part I found about it all was the love fest. Was that everybody felt that they didn't have the right to be with the other guests, which I thought was really funny.
Yes.
And it was really cool as well because everyone was like, "Oh, I really like you. I like you too." I'm not mocking anybody. It was I was the same because I'm sat there with three people that I admire greatly for what they do in the hobby, and it was a major thing for me. So, But yeah, it was really cool listening to that. But anyway, there you go. So
good. Yeah, I admit I haven't watched it yet. I want to. It's on my list of things to watch, but I will. It sounds very cool. And you've got lots of others lined up, haven't you, or in planning? And
wow. So this is what I said at the time. I have literally a list in front of my face, not right here, but just up there. Because it would be a poor show looking at paper. Yeah, on my list, I've got 5 different topics,
Cool.
5 headings, shall we say.
Mhm.
And each heading has anywhere between 10 and 15 other headings underneath it, i.e. episodes or ideas or whatever.
Mm.
And they range from roundtables to build episodes to all sorts of things. And what's even funnier is I just realised that actually there's one list that's not on the list. There's another list with another 10. So yeah, there's an awful lot knocking around, 30 plus sort of episodes that I may do or might not, but I've got them all mapped out just in case. So it's going to be a very long build. So I've purposely not diarised any of it because I don't want to put that pressure on me.
No, that's cool. Yeah, because the build's the most important bit, right?
It is. It really is. And I've been holding back for so long to start it. Or it feels like forever, or a year, basically. Strangely. How ironic is that? But yeah, so I've been gagging to start, and I have made a very good start today. So I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But anyway, what have you been up to? Enough of me.
Is that an ice cream fan in the background?
Not that I heard.
Is that me then? Is that me?
You've not got an ice cream van in your garden, have you?
No, I thought it was sounding like a phone or something. Someone's phone ringing.
It might have been, but I didn't hear it. But yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
All of my equipment is off. So if it's a phone ringing in the background, I apologise. That'll be the cleaner.
Maybe her phone was ringing.
Or as I sometimes call her, the wife.
No. She doesn't listen to the show, does she?
No.
What have I been up to? Yeah, I heard you say. I have been lots of things. I can't remember what I was doing last. Was I doing a Spitfire for some sort of Scalextric thing?
You was, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's done.
You was.
Yeah,
it's had its maiden journey, isn't it?
That's definitely a phone bing there. I heard. Well, it's gone now, but it was just listeners. I'm not going crazy. That's definitely a phone in the background that I heard. I'm sure. Yes, Spitfire's done. That's done. My part is done. There's still some project stuff that the French are doing alongside another charity, and that will be I don't think it's going to get finished before the end of June. But that's involving the Revel high-tech kit with all the Spitfire with all the lights and bells and whistles and motors and stuff, and the builder is struggling to mount the motor correctly as per instructions. That's all I know. But yeah, the Scalextric thing was done, and the Airfix Spitfire flew around the track, so that worked.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. Unfortunately, the propeller broke, so I had to glue it on properly, which meant it wouldn't spin, which meant that it just kind of went around the track linear without the spinning propeller. But whatever. It was still
happens.
Yeah, it does happen. And it was kind of like the Dunkirk Spitfire, had no fuel, but still went along anyway.
Hey, a very good time of year for that to happen then, really. Being the anniversary.
Yeah, it's true. And then I've done my bass for I say I've done it. Have I done it? No, I'm not really happy with it. I was doing the Cold Wind set. It's around the back here somewhere. The Masterbox one, which I built for the scale models for vets group build back in
Mhm.
March, February, somewhere. And I built the figures, and then I couldn't carry on and paint them, so I've painted them. They're done, and I'm just doing the base for it.
Mhm.
I've used out of focus paint.
Yeah, very good out of focus paint.
Mhm.
But that's all right. What's wrong with that?
I'll tell you what's wrong with that. You can see it. You can see it. Can you see the yellow snow?
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't meant to be there. So I used desert sand texture from AK first.
All right.
Let that
Mhm.
dry, and then I just painted that brown, and then I added kind of different color washes. One of the washes I used may as well have been called urine yellow. Yep. I can't find it now. Crap, can't find it. But yeah, it took over the entire piece, and the whole thing went yellow. I just put a little dab here and there, and
Mhm.
But and then once I painted over the top of it, the yellow has seeped through.
Mhm.
The yellow snow seeped through. Now, listeners on YouTube will be able to see what I'm talking about. So yeah,
but in fairness, on that long march, that they would have had to stop for a break.
yeah, true, but not that much.
Well, depends how many people trod that path, so to speak.
Yeah, not well. Yeah, they wouldn't be constantly pissing themselves, would they? So, which is what that diorama is all about currently. So I need to change that.
All you need to do, all you really need to do, is get one of the soldiers doing exactly that, and there you go. You've cracked it, and you could even make it so it's frozen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I'm not doing any more baking.
Oh, I tried.
Yeah, but the figures are done. The figures are lovely. I've got them here as a I've made them out of focus paint, so you're not going to see them on this camera. But I will put a picture up, or send you some.
But I got to be honest, you are the only person I know that seems to have not only trialed the out of focus paint. There we go. But also mastered the technique of it.
Yeah, it's pretty
They're
difficult.
lovely. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. I'm really happy with. I'm really happy. I'm out of focus now. I'm really happy with my figures.
Got out of focus. How have you managed to got out of focus makeup? I mean, come on.
It's the matte coat. I cover myself.
You just called it the market.
Yeah, the figures I absolutely love, and I'm proud of myself for the job I've done on the figures. The base, as I said, is a piss fest, so I need to change that. I've used Deluxe Materials Scenic Snow.
Okay, yeah,
which I've never used before, which is basically like white fluff and a bit of glue, and that's quite fun actually. It gives it that kind of fluffy, soft snow look.
Yeah.
And you also got icy sprinkles, which is
Ooh.
not a name of icy RC Sparkles. It's not the name of My Little Pony. It's not the name of your favorite My Little Pony. But,
Is that, I got asked, does that come as a kit? Urine yellow and RC Sparkles. Okay, I'm missing a trick.
Careful, they'll probably
Got
bring
everything
it out.
else. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You're in yellow. Yeah, so icy sparkles is tiny little beads that are like sparkly. But yeah, you saw here, icy sparkles. Out of focus. But and I guess you pop those here and there to create that kind of icy sparkly effect. So I'm gonna do that, perhaps, maybe. And the other thing, and I've been buying stuff as well. I went to Salisbury Model Show. Yeah. And there's 3 parcels on my shelf here that I need to open. of stuff I've been buying. I went to the Salisbury Model Show and I picked up some stuff from 3D Gizmo. David from 3D Gizmo wouldn't leave me alone, as usual. So I ended up having to buy something from him. And I bought a fuel drum set in 16th scale to go with my little soldier sat in down. And it comes with a wall and some fuel drums and fuel detritus, oil pump and cans and a filter and a funnel and all that kind of thing. So I can make a little scene with the guy actually sat somewhere, maybe hiding, maybe just between two drums or something like that. Which gives it a bit of maybe. Oh, actually, that's probably a bad idea. Maybe that's why the snow's yellow.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, well, that's not a project I'm going to do soon. Oh, I say that.
No.
But, I've bought a book to get the color of the uniforms right. As Rob Herring, as you know, is doing a series on painting a 3D printed figure, and he is a US tank commander. So I wanted to kind of follow along with that and use this one, but I've got other things I want to do. So they'll go on the shelf, and it'll be a project that I'll do probably in 2038. So I've also want to build Fury from the film Fury. I'll build the Sherman in 1/56 scale.
Nice.
I've got some figures for it in 56. I've bought a stowage set in 56, and I've got the Rubicon kit of the Sherman M1 something numbers and letters that matches. And me and my daughter going to build that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'll be good fun. She's helped me build she built and I watched. She built a Toon Tank, which was a Sherman, and we happened to have watched Fury as well, and she really enjoyed it. And we're gonna, make a proper little 56 scale diorama, wargaming scale of Fury, and then she can have that in her room, which is cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I like doing that because it means that I can get away with buying loads of stuff. If I just say it's daughter time,
it's not for you. Absolutely.
No, it's nothing to do with me.
That's right. Oh, was that not? Wasn't that the kit you wanted? Oh, I'll have to put that on the shelf then for next time. Yes, I know.
What do you mean you didn't want that 148 Hawk? Surely you did. Oh, did I get the wrong thing? Never mind. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. So I'm quite excited because I'm kind of coming to the end of a little build and then going to start a new one, but I don't know what it is yet. It might be an aircraft. I don't know. I want to do my Red Arrow idea. My Red Arrow's hangar, RAF Valley thing. It's just been on the honestly, it's been like 10 years. It's been on the list. I've got books and all sorts, and maybe I should just get on and do it and make some space on my shelves with all the two Red Arrow kits I've got and all the other bits and bobs. Yes, I will. I'll see. I've got to do a Hobnob thing first as well.
You have. You do.
Oh yeah. So yeah, loads of stuff going on. I've got loads of things to do, and I'm going to enjoy doing them all. So
I love that. That's cool. So all I've been doing is research for this build. So I've not got a great deal to show. I've still got my B24 that hasn't got the insignia and that on it yet. Everything else is done per se, but I haven't done used the mask that Mal sorted out for me.
That's right.
So I will do that at some point. and I basically told myself that I've got like four other little things that I want to do while I'm doing this build as a break, because I want to make sure I take breaks and bits and pieces. I don't think I'm going to, if I'm honest. I think the passion for it's going to keep me going, but we'll see. But
We'll see.
But yeah, so I got loads and loads of research done, which is super amazing.
Do you want to, just for people who haven't tuned in before, maybe just give them a little bit of enlightenment about what it is you're talking about?
Yes. So what it is I'm going to be building a little diorama using border models, a khaki carrier flight deck set in 1/35 that comes with an airplane, a Katie, I believe, or a Kate rather, and not happy with just the one layer. I've decided to do 2 hanger layers as well, and there is a reason for this. I'm mad, obviously, but the other side of it is it was the first thought process I had when I saw the kit. And while I was sat in hospital, I was planning the build, and I wanted to depict the moment where the first bomb landed through the flight deck and it exploded. And it was only one bomb that completely crippled the ship and meant that it had to be sacrificed the day after because it was just no good. So it's quite an amazing story in itself. Plus, also the person, I forget the name, and I really shouldn't have, but the pilot at the time, that was his last mission. The reason being is that they were in such a desperate need to find the carriers that he took off and realised that his oxygen tanks were in fact tainted, but he refused to turn around and carried on, and unfortunately that rendered his lungs unable to be able to fly anymore. So he quite a famous guy. There's lots of backstory to it, but the really weird part about it is obviously I sat there, I spoke to the surgeon about it, and mumbled some stuff, but as I did the research to try and find a reason to pull out of doing it, which my friends all told me I shouldn't, I was very naughty and must do it. I discovered that the actual event that I was trying to depict was exactly the same date and time as my operation started.
Weird, that.
So it was sort of weird and written and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's just given me a different reason to do it, if I'm honest.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so that's the idea, and I have struggled for months to find the information I need to try and base a plan around, until I tripped over AI by accident. And I asked AI to look for some information. Of course, it came back with an answer of there is none. There is no details of this thing. And I literally, I am, you won't disbelieve me when I say this, but I literally wrote sarcastically to it saying, yeah, I knew that. That's why I asked you. Fancy that. All that intelligence and still can't come up with a decent answer. To which it took the bait and went, well, in that case, and then it was just reams of information suddenly, we'll make this hypothesis, big word, and basically just totally done all the information I needed down to the beam size, the rivets, the size, the bolts used, and it's just been never ending. It's been an absolute joy to do lazy research. Which I can get away with because there isn't anything really to base it on as such. There's certainly not a book that you can pull off a shelf and go, there you go, this Japanese carrier was made with these blueprints, except the blueprints. I've been on a forum and said to somebody, I've been looking like that. Oh, get the blueprints. And like, there aren't any I can find. Where will I look for them? And the guy eventually came back with some blueprints, which was blueprints of a remote controlled boat that was the Akaki in one something or other.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with using AI for research, mate, at all. It's intelligently set.
No, it's been an eye opener, and even to the point that I've used it to its full extreme. So even to the point I've gone, right, I want to do this, and this area of the ship. What did it look like? And it goes away, thinks about it, and pulls up a picture. And how a Japanese aircraft carrier can look anything like Garfield, I've got no idea, but apparently that's so. I've had some really weird pictures, I got to be honest. And I've had arguments. You'd be amazed how easy it is to fall into an argument with AI.
You've got to be careful, because come the revolution, you'll be on a list. When
I'm on the list already. That's fine.
Always polite to your smart speaker, folks.
See, this is the thing, right? AI seems to have come to the conclusion that working with me is a good idea because it learns about English humour, sarcasm, and idiots all in one go. So I'm a vast area of information from. And anyway, So I've done lots of planning and bits and pieces. Everything's drawn out, and I have been literally from 7:42 this morning. I've been working on the build.
Wow!
So
and it's 5 o'clock now.
It's 5 o'clock now. Yeah. So for those that are watching it in Technicolor through their smart speaker, they'll be able to see this.
Your kind, happy smart speaker. Smart speaker overlords.
So there you go. This is welcome to my bench.
No.
This is the framework for the flight deck.
Wow,
it's going to sit on.
That's really neat.
And I've done 2 sections. It's that long. It's back from my left hand to my right hand, and it's at least that long.
Wow.
It is 570 millimeters in length. And there's 2 sections are 8 centimeters deep, I think. Yeah, 8 or high, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the two sections that I built. What I've done is I've done a baseboard and routed out where the bigger beams will sit.
You routed?
I routed.
You've been routing.
And the beams slot into the routed section, and the idea for that is that this will have 3 layers that are all detachable, and the framework that I'm making right now will have magnets in it, as will the baseboard, so that when I put them together, they will hold together with magnets.
Wow, mate.
So I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, so I've done that. That's what I've been doing today, and I'm super, super happy with it. It's looking really, really cool.
When you did your little chat with Bill, Martin, and Rob, did you talk about construction with them?
So we covered how you would approach it. How would you what things would you look out for? What techniques would you potentially use? It was very broad in its conversation. And I did that on purpose because what I will do is we will do a scratch building round table.
Okay.
Where I discuss what I've done, and maybe what I could have done at some point. Because what I want to do is I want to get there's a few other people I'd like to get involved. Obviously, Bill is very much Strax building with zany ideas with massive stories behind it, which is really, really good. Oh my god, so many layers.
I mean, literally layers of that's what.
Yeah, literally. And Martin, funnily enough, he's very deep into the same sort of approach. So that was quite interesting. And then obviously Rob is my, if you like. So how I introduced them was Bill is my dioramist expert guru. Rob is my figure extraordinaire guru. And Martin sort of sits in between both because I just love the work he does and the way he does it. So, and he's quite new to the community. Yeah. So I thought he would probably bring a slight different twist, something that maybe us older folks wouldn't think of.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
And
he's a very good
yeah,
storyteller too. Well,
he is. And I think that was one of the things that come across through the thing really, really deeply, was that the element of storytelling within dioramas and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was really, really good. So, but the other round tables I've got will cover the scratch building, will cover the figures in more depth. There will be an episode where we talk about the mental health side of my recovery, and what I'm hoping to do is to find a few other people that have gone through a similar experience, and we all talk about our experience, heart disease, etc., if mental health came up, which certainly did with me and others that I'm aware of. And if
well,
we
maybe
use
you
modern
could
making,
put a call out. Maybe.
yeah. Anyone that's listening, drop me a line. But I will do that better. There was a couple of people that I'm aware of, and a couple of people have actually come forward without even realising they come forward. So that's quite cool. Yeah, and that's the idea really, is to cover lots of different things. So the scratch building, obviously I get Bill involved with that. I'm hoping to ask another very good scratch builder, who I won't name because it'd be unfair on him if I do, but very well known in the community. And then I probably will again try and throw a little curveball with somebody that has a slightly different angle on it. And that's what I really want to try and do, to bring to the table some expertise and someone that thinks a little bit outside the box to see how it goes, basically.
Yeah, I really like that approach. I really do, because I remember you were talking about when you were at Telford and you put your pizzas in at the competition and you were looking for feedback. You were like, "Oh, give me feedback," and a lot of your time was spent just kind of lurking and stalking and hoping to hear
being
some of the
removed by the
feedback.
security guards. Yeah,
That's the one. Yeah, and that ASBO has been timed out now.
yeah, it's over. It's over now. Yeah.
So, but this is kind of the same thing, but before you even start building stuff, you know. So
there's a lot of layers within the build, because obviously there's a lot going on. So, aircraft building, I'm not an expert, but it'd be really good to get around the table with people that are experts at that sort of thing. Shipbuilding, yeah.
Do you know any shipbuilders?
I know quite a lot of shipbuilders that I can speak to, and I know a lot of really bad builders that
You
would
do a
probably
round table of
be
shipbuilders.
writing to me saying, "I'm a shipbuilder. I can be on your panel," but no. I just want to try and pick out as much as I can in different ways. So one of the things that's come up, which you don't know about this because I haven't told you yet, it's literally arrived on my desk in the last 48 hours or so, is one of the elements to this build is, because I'm an idiot, I've decided that I don't want fluffy smoke on the diorama piece at all in any way, shape or form, which to depict an explosion is going to be quite difficult, and everyone will scratch it and go, that makes no sense. But the piece of the cutaway, if you like, of that vessel is not where it exploded. It literally exploded off piece, if you like, or off camera to what you're looking at. So I've decided that I want to catch that exact moment when there's the explosion and fireball. So what we're going to do is I'm going to, because it pierces through the flight deck into the first hangar and explodes. So there's going to be a degree of people through that level that are affected. So right near the blast, they'll be falling over and all that sort of stuff. But as you go through that view, people will be at different stages of what's that, or panic or whatever. So there'll be lots of different stories within that level. And the only way to do that is by doing OSL. And OSL on that grander scheme is an insane thing to do. But I think I can do it, and I think I can do it adequately enough to show that moment. So it's a bit of a gamble. it might all go terribly wrong, and I stick loads of cotton wool in it. Who knows? But yeah, that's the idea. So there's a lot of the painting elements, for example. That's a round table in itself. Just trying to talk about OSL and how not just the bright colors, but the shadows and all that sort of stuff. The more you think about it, the more I'm actually crapping myself over it, because I'm asking an awful lot of the viewer and myself to be able to get that right, or really just make sense. It doesn't have to be right. It just to make sense.
You've done an OSL piece already, haven't you? Object source lighting OSL, by the way, for people who don't know. So you've done that fireplace, haven't you? Where that was the object and that was the source of the light and the moon.
So I did it different ways. I did it was a sniper, 1/16 sniper, a Russian sniper, standing, looking out of a window, effectively, in a derelict building, with the moonlight and the ambers of a fire. So not a massive fire, but just the ambers. So there was a bit of a red glow and more bluey sort of. So I've done that, and that was my first attempt, and I was very, very happy with how that came out.
Yeah.
So I can do it, but we're not just talking about a figure. We're talking about the whole diorama piece is going to have that same effect. So it's a lot of work. And then, of course, once you've done all that sort of thing, you then stick in an airplane, which, again, and I'll be honest, I hadn't thought about any of this until we had this round table, and I was sitting thinking about it and thinking, oh my God, that means I've got to do object source lighting on an airplane. I don't even know anyone that's attempted that, let alone done it. So that's going to be quite crazy. And I think, actually, on a positive note, there may be people out there going, "Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't thought of doing that on a figure, but not on a vehicle or something." Anyway,
you could.
We see.
You could. Did you discuss putting LEDs in instead of doing OSL? You do object source light.
Yes. No, I'll be honest with you. The reason I've taken on the challenge, apart from being completely insane, the main reason is that the one time I've used LEDs, it looked amazing on my bench. Absolutely amazing. Took it outside and it looked okay, but not amazing. And I thought, no, it's okay. When I put it into a sports hall sort of environment, it'll be fine. And when I put it in there, you just couldn't see it. It just wasn't there. It was. Funny enough, I took it to the NEC the other week. And people did say, "Oh, look, there's a flickering going on." So that they did see it, but it just wasn't sufficient for me. So I wanted to try and avoid LEDs. However, with that said, this will have LEDs in it, but only in the ship's internal lighting.
Okay, right. Right.
So. And I'll give you an example. So on that, again, going to that one hangar deck where all the craziness is happening, I've got to show the element of the blast, the physical blast. So it'd be the shockwave. Well, an easy way to do that would be all the dangly lights from the ceiling aren't dangling straight down; they're dangling at an angle. Which I hope, if I got LEDs in them, I hope what they'll do is that will give me a few shadows without painting the shadows. That's the idea. So I'm using them to create an effect that I don't need to paint. I don't think it will work 100%, but I certainly think in the middle of the diorama it will help. So, there's loads of little different bits and pieces. And that's why I've not set a target for it being finished by such and such.
Are you going to paint it all at once, or are you going to build and paint? Or because I would say if you built it all, got it all in place, and then painted it, you could harness the power of using zenithal highlighting with an airbrush to point exactly where the light's coming from, which is how you're going to do it anyway. But it would then mean you could then take it apart and paint it, because you would have the zenith of the explosion already on the figure, right? Or the aircraft or whatever. That might be a thing.
I think the big pieces, like you say, like the like the planes and the figures and that. So yes, I will do that once the base is all done and set. What I think I'm going to do, which I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to try and do the superstructure of the build, if you like, as best I can, and as many pieces as possible. And then what I may do is I then may either paint it to a reasonable base color, then put it together, and certainly with that hanger deck, and then stick it together, and then shoot a color through the hanger deck to see if what it highlights and what it picks up. Whether I do that before I do all the other bits and pieces, I don't know. I haven't made that decision yet. I've got a few ideas of how I want to do it, but until I've got everything in place, I've not made that decision.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's all going on, and it is going to be a really good build. I'm really going to enjoy doing that because I love doing the scratch cart building part of it. I really love doing that side of my builds.
Yeah.
And there's loads of potential. Now the bit I've just suddenly remembered, the bit that I haven't told you about is using AI again. One of the questions I was asked on the round table was how far forward are you with the planning? Have you got it all sketched out? Do you know how many figures you need? Do you know where they're going to be placed? And so, oh God, no, I don't even thought about the figures. Although figures are going to be problematic because there generally isn't very many figures out there to do with Japanese Navy. So it's going to take a little bit of skills in manipulating figures and stuff. But no, I've not thought of a number. Anyway, the lovely David from 3D Gizmo, I had asked him if he'd be willing to create some figures for me, or at least some heads, because obviously the Oriental look would be difficult to a point.
Oh, I don't think you can say Oriental anymore. I think you have to say Asian.
Asian,
I think.
Asian. Okay, either or. To create the correct character, facial characteristics of the people that would be on the carrier.
Yeah. There you go.
I would need to source a lot of heads, basically, or figures that are made for that particular thing. So I've had that conversation literally with him last night, and he said, "Oh, how many did you need, and what poses?" I'm just like, I haven't got a clue. I haven't thought about poses. What poses? So AI comes to the rescue because I discovered a picture.
Did you say imagine there's a crew of 50 on a deck and half of it exploding? Describe each of the poses for each person. And did it come?
No, that's not what I put. So what I put, I can't show the picture, unfortunately. But this picture I came across showed the island, which is the superstructure on top of the flight deck, which is off to one side, obviously. Which has 1, 2, 3 or 4 decks, I think, off the top of my head. And on this picture, it got all the figures.
Oh, okay.
Which gave me a rough idea of how many figures I might need. And I counted it, and I was like, oh, no, what am I doing? Yeah, there's a lot. There's an awful lot.
Oh yeah.
So AI came to my rescue because I said, "Dear Mr. AI, can you surmise how many people would have been on the in the island section or on the island section at the time of the event in which I'm depicting within my diorama?"
Wow.
To which it went, "It's a really good question." It's like, yeah, I know, that's why I asked it. And it sat and thought about it for ages and ages, and eventually went, right, so I can't give you an exact number. However, there would have a minimum of 25 people up to 35 people, dependent on, messengers and stuff like that. Yeah. So you've got the spotters, you've got the officers with the spotters, they've got the people who are on the bridge, the generals, and all the entourage. You've got the map readers, you've got the radio operators. Anyway, it's about 30, 40 people on this island. And I'm like, oh, that's madness. And if you look at the picture, or those that will look on YouTube now will see the picture, it's really, really busy. But it doesn't include the people that would be inside the bridge. So I counted, I think, about 30 people.
Yeah.
But in the bridge would be another 6 plus, I guess.
Okay.
So, so we're looking 30, 40 people.
Gosh.
So I then said to AI, well, that's a lot of people. Given the scale that I'm doing it in, would that be too busy? And what would you recommend? Which, to my astonishment, it gave me 3 options. And it broke it right down. So if you were ever wondering how to do a diorama, use AI. It won't be perfect, don't get me wrong, but it will give you loads of options and food for thought. So of course, I got the answer.
Exactly how I use it is using it for food for thought and bouncing ideas off it. It's really good.
So I got the answer I needed. To that end, I then said, well, now we've made that assumption, can you tell me how many people would be on Hangar Deck 1 and Hangar Deck 2 at the time of the explosion? Which it did.
God, wow.
So I've now got 142 figures that I need to source and paint.
142?
Not quite. The maximum was, I think, 87.
87 is still a lot of figures. Dude,
87 figures
is a lot.
However, he said AI, we had a long chat over a beer over it, and obviously I felt a bit woozy afterwards. He didn't, I don't know I don't know how AI identifies. Anyway, so we had a long chat about it, and we come to a conclusion that we could probably get away with about 40 or 50, but it's still 40 or 50.
Okay, so a representation of the people on there rather than the exact people.
Yeah. If I can go mad and I can put the whole lot on there, but I think it's going to be too busy, too chaotic and too much for people to take in.
Yeah, it will be. You want people, because there'll be people on other parts of the ship you just won't see, right? Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to make a representation, because that's what a diorama is, in my view. It's a representation of an event or story that you're trying to tell. And also, one of the things that came up in the round table, which I 100% agree on, is you need to break the whole piece down into mini vinaigrettes, mini vignettes all the way around it. So you've got a little story in little areas around it, which works perfectly, because I can do that with a few figures, and then I can sporadically throw a couple in here and there that aren't really related to bring in the chaos side of it. So I don't know how many I'm going to use at all. And I didn't really answer the question that I was posed by David as to what poses do I want. However, the good news is, because this was the other thing we were talking about, how to scratch build figures. I want to get it done. I would like to get it done within a year, or just a little over a year. I don't want it to take 45 years, because that's how long it will take me to scratch build 80 odd figures plus, with a bit of wire and whatever. But I wouldn't mind having a go at it. Again, it's another element to the build that would help push my abilities forward, and maybe so I could share, etc. So I've got one, but
what you could do, you could sculpt it, but then you could put one of them inside the building, so that you don't have to worry about it. If it doesn't come up very well, he just goes in there, maybe in a cupboard.
Yeah, no, I have a plan. So on the build so far, I've already found 2 stories in which I want to tell.
Oh, okay.
One is on the flight deck with 2 figures, which should be fairly easy and straightforward to resolve. The other one is a lone person on the hangar deck, and he's the first person that gets the blast, the first person that's affected. And I have exactly in mind what I want that person to look like.
Right.
And I won't be able to buy that figure. I'm going to have to try and find either someone to make it for me from scratch, or I've got to learn how to do it myself. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and persuade someone to teach me how to sculpt.
Wow.
And
We
see
know
if I
who
can
you can
sculpt
help
that
to
one
that.
figure. Yeah, I've got a couple of people I think I'm gonna approach and talk about it. And Rob was really, really great on the round table because he actually did while we were talking and we were talking about this one of these particular figures, he was sat there a bit like that with his blue tack man, or with his wire or whatever he was using. And that looked really interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a bit of a go.
Cool.
So yeah, so there's there's a lot to do.
Wow.
It may even come to a point where I get the figures and then ask for volunteers to paint the figure and send it out to people and get them involved. Maybe.
Why not?
Possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. So
that'd
be pretty cool. Yeah. So yes, it's super exciting. And also, as I've alluded to, I've actually taken time off work to get this project started. So, which is a bit bizarre, but yeah.
That's great. Well, you sound incredibly positive about it, and I hope it's I really hope, and I really hope it's going to carry on like that. You know, it's going to be. I guess if you hold on to it too tight, and you're not happy to let go of some things, and happy to bend what happens, then I think you'll be okay. I think you stay too rigid to your plans, you might have some difficulties because you get ill, whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm very fortunate in the fact that I don't do planning. This is actually the most planning I've ever done for any build. And research. And by doing the roundtables, as I told my guests the other day, what they didn't realise when they said yes to getting involved was that they've all like, oh, we're quite excited for the project, and if you want a hand with something, so well, that's handy because that was my idea, was that I want you to be involved. I want you to be there to advise and go, don't do it like that, James, do it like this, or go off on a bit of a tangent and go, well, I've done this and this would look good on there, and I tried this technique or whatever. And to alongside that, as I said, I may have said before, is this whole build is part of my recovery, but also a sort of a nod to all the people that have helped me through the process of recovering. They've got me through, so I want them to be involved as in any way they want to be involved. And one of the ways I've done is obviously the Discord group that I've got. There's a special page on there which is all about what I'm doing, which they can follow. But also there's a group build on there as well, which is all themed around this event or this time in history. So hopefully it will spark some imagination from people, and they'll pick up a mod and go, I'm going to do that, and that will help inspire me as well to push forward. So because I'll be honest with you, the thought of doing 500,000 rivets and bolts on this thing is worrying me.
Riveting. So, will you put the Discord links on
the
thing? Yeah. So there you go. If you want to give James a hand, you want to put your oar in, so to speak, and see what he's up to. Have a look. So it's Discord you're going with, not Facebook groups?
There will be some posting on Facebook, but I wanted to keep it on Discord as best as possible because so the people that follow me on my YouTube channel, some of them will pay a membership, which is not a lot of money, but it helps pay for madness like this. It's not a profit thing. It's purely to fund my hobbies, and whatever's left goes somewhere in March. And I'm quite open about that. But yeah, so I wanted to give them something because they've supported me, and it seemed like a sensible place to put it. But also, it gives me the opportunity then to also do hangouts, which, like I've done today, I've done a hangout. No, I was joined by Gary, but no one else. But I will do more hangouts as we go through the build, so people can see what I'm doing. And chat and maybe build along doing something. So it's very interactive.
Put the times up when you're doing that so that people know.
Yeah, I've got to be. I've got. That's the one thing I haven't planned. It was just something that I wanted to do, and I will do it very ad hoc. But I need to be a bit structured in it, otherwise people won't know when to get involved. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is the good thing about Discord is, as people will know who use it, you can go on there and you can see who's online where, and you can just jump in wherever you want to go. Which is cool.
Yeah. Well, I do a general hangout every month anyway for everybody, and one for the members, and then the ad hoc ones. What I may do, I haven't decided to do it yet, but what I might do is I might make a special section, which is the build section, so you can just jump in, all Japanese or something. I don't know what we call it, but
awesome.
But yeah, it's an interesting awesomeness. So
yeah, are you writing it all down as well? Are you documenting it, or are you just documenting the build on YouTube? And
I am documenting it on YouTube. I'm writing it down. I've got plan books. I've got a sheet that I've got to fill out every day, or I'm going to try and fill out every day. Of my progress, where I got to, how it made me feel, and all that sort of stuff. And at the end of it, there may be something that people can pick up and read, but I don't know yet. We'll see. I might get to the end of this and go, I don't want to ever see a model again. Who knows? I don't think so.
Perhaps talk to an occupational therapist as well and see if you can get their take on the use of a hobby for mental health, from a professional.
It's funny you should say that, because one of the episodes will be like that. I have approached an occupational health therapist with the proposal of coming and talk about it. And at the moment, the response I got was, I don't do model making. And I've literally written back saying, perfect. That's exactly what I want.
Don't start either.
yeah. Come and chat to us, and then you'll become a model maker. But yeah, no, I'm going to do that. I want to. It's very important to me that I cover all the different aspects, and the mental health side of things. It has affected me, and I think it's important talking to people that have gone through the heart surgery, etc. They've all said to me pretty much the same thing, which is, it does affect you, and this is what you should look out for, and that. And I think being part of a Facebook group all about that sort of thing, the one thing that stood out to me more than anything else was, oh crap, what does that mean? What's going to happen? What am I about to face? Because I went to the operation. My father's had the operation. My mum's had the operation. My uncle's had the operation. I had no qualms about the problem with it at all. And I literally said to the surgeon, he said to me one day, he said, any questions, any concerns? I was like, no. I said, I was nothing really concerned about. The operation's the different time your tonsils out. And the guy just looked at me in amazement and went, I've never heard anyone say that before.
8 hours later.
Yeah. Oh, right. And now I am, and now I've gone through the operation. I understand what a quirky little comment that was, and how insane as well, because it's nothing like having your tonsils out. But that was my mindset. But you'll have the opposite end, where someone will be petrified, not been through any operation, and won't know what to face. And certainly through the Facebook group, that's exactly what I've witnessed over the last year or so. So again, another forum to have a chat about mental health and health generally. So we'll probably tackle the mental health side, but we may even also talk about healthy lifestyle as well.
Cool. Yeah. And we're going to be on another podcast, I believe, a new one.
We are, yes. Tell us all about it, Malcolm.
It's going to be a bunch of Northerners from the UK, and I believe they're looking for some more European interest. They have a little podcast. I think they've done one episode so far. It was a bit of fun. And yeah, basically talking about model making. And they've invited us on to have a chat. Yes, so I look forward to that. That'd be cool. And you've pulled my finger out of my arse, and we've sorted out some dates, haven't we?
We have, yeah. We've been a bit lax, but we've had lots of bits and pieces going on. So
it's a hobby, mate. It's not a job.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's how we've always approached it. So nothing's going to change. But yeah, there's
Oh, look at you being all northern.
Okay, getting ready for it. But
Nothing's gonna change.
Gonna change.
I'm gonna climb up
Take
that
the dogs out. Take the dogs out for a quick walk. Oh, whip it. Get the whippet.
We don't have many northern listeners, do we?
Not anymore. No,
Not anymore.
apparently not.
I'll have to sit and watch Last of the Summer Wine, do some research, and eat some Hovis bread.
You're not going to turn up in your wrinkly stockings, are you?
No, that was a woman. She wore those. What was her name?
Nora
Batty.
Nora Batty.
I was talking about Hello the other day. I was in stitches.
Great, isn't it? I love Hello.
Do you remember when the bed used to go up and the old lady used to scream, "They're flashing knobs!
Yeah, my knobs are flashing."
Do you remember that? Oh God,
I do. Yeah, and it is beyond the box art.
Ah, there we go.
I just double checked. Sorry, Paul.
All right.
But yeah, I love that, and it's just so very British humour, isn't it? But the thing I always find quite amazing about it is how well that transpires across the world, because that's the one program that I can think of that mocks every nationality involved in it. The Italians, the Germans, the French, the English.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any Americans in it. No. No, there's not. Well, they didn't turn up to the war too late, did they? So
no. There's no Russians in it.
No. But that's one thing I like about the program. It's set in France, and it mocks every nationality equally as well. I think. I can't believe that. That'd be brilliant. We should maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do that as a build at some point.
Do you know? I was talking to someone else about that exact thing. Talking about that because I'm going to a reenactment. Oh, it's called a revival. It's World War II revival this weekend. In a village near me, and I'm taking some models and we're going to do a display. But they have a low reenactance there.
Right? Oh, really?
Last year they had 3 Yvettes. Which, there's nothing wrong with that.
Did they only say it once?
Then they had lots of different people and different guises of hello, and they had an officer Crabtree, which was great. And they didn't have a little tank. Their plan is to get one day
for Grubert.
Yeah. But we were talking about you could do like a little cafe, and you could have the little tank parked outside it. You remember the little urinal that was in a couple of episodes? You might be able to do the cafe scene with some cheese sticking out of a German's ear. And also upstairs you could have what was the waitress called? Was it Maria?
Yvette. There was a Maria and Yvette.
Right, Yvette. I thought which one was the Resistance then?
I
thought that was Yvette.
No, you might be right actually.
Oh, Yvette.
What was the? I thought Yvette was the short one.
No, it was Mimi.
Oh, Mimi. Oh, yeah. So then it would have been Maria and Mimi, and Yvette was the Resistance lady. Is that right?
I think. Sorry, folks.
Answers on a postcard.
Yeah, Yvette. I think Yvette was. I think Yvette was the waitress. Now think about it.
Okay.
Oh, Yvette. I remember him saying that a lot.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right.
What are you doing with that waitress? You stupid woman. Can't you not see she is upset? Oh, Renee. So good. If you haven't seen Hello and you don't know what we're talking about, go and find it.
Yeah, find it and tune in because it'll have you in stitches within seconds.
Oh, also you could have two little barrels, right, somewhere in the stores or outside waiting to be taken in, and every now and again the top lids just pop up, and Carstairs and Fairfax go, "Hello,
hello, hello." I say, chaps.
I don't know if it would work as a diorama or not, but yeah, it'd be fun.
I think it would.
You have to watch lots
Full
of
Madonna with the big boobies.
Oh, full Madonna with the big boobies. Yeah. Yeah. By Van Klump.
There we go.
Amazing. I remember this shit. This is like from 50,000 years ago as well.
But it's because it's so good.
Yeah.
That's why. Oh,
yeah.
dear. Right.
Anything
cool.
else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's a wrap, really. Thank you for listening, everybody. Come and get involved with all the stuff we've spoken about. Let us know your thoughts on Hello, and any other dioramable or model related potentials for future products.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. Oh, wouldn't that be great? Airfix, can't you do that? Can you do that? Can you do an LO series, Airfix? Come on, you can do that.
You can get a MASH set, can't you?
Yeah. Oh, I don't think they make it anymore, but yeah, you can do.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, that was another classic as well, MASH.
Oh, you could do. There's a film and TV sig, isn't there?
Yeah.
Someone's done it. I'm sure they have.
Yeah, more than likely. Anyway, right, cool. Until next time, we will see you all later.
Cheers, mate. Nice chatting to you. Bye.
Yeah, and you, buddy.